Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I've talked about many things that I have learned in my marriage to my Filipina wife that helped me to be the kind of husband she wants to have. That's what I want you to have. That's what I want you to be. Marriage is two opposite worlds colliding. And on Love Beyond the Sea, that's my interest. Marriage. If you want to be married to a woman from the Philippines, you know there are many differences if you are from the West, and I can help you with that. I have to know what I'm talking about because I'm married and I intend to stay that way. I wanted my wife to know that I was going to be a strong leader from the start of us being together, but I learned that backfired a few times early on as I asserted myself the wrong way. Christ is the head of the church, and countless times we ignore his claim of authority over us, and he is patient and long-suffering with us. Yes, you are the head of your Filipina wife, but often you will find yourself learning to love the way the Bible describes love in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, if you want the best outcome. There it says, love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy, love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, rejoices not in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. It will require the help of the Holy Spirit to love this way. This is the type of love that will inspire your life or your wife to submit to you. This is the kind of love that she responds to. This is exactly God's love for us every day. There will be differences in each other just naturally, and combine that with different cultures, nationalities, ages, and having spent little to no time in person with each other, possibly, and you see the potential for clashing. Here are a few more things, in addition to the other videos I've just put out recently, that have helped us develop a more harmonious and stronger marriage. By the way, it took us less than 8 weeks to get married. I don't know if people are impressed by that or think we're both crazy, but we're still together. That was back in 2015. If I learn something, I want to share that with my subscribers. So if you haven't, please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I have podcasts on casting beyond the sea. You can access on Podbean, among other podcast places, as well as my website, lvbts.com. Let's start with this. Take it outside. If I was fuming due to another unexpected and unexplained cable bill increase or phone bill increase, I've learned to simply go outside, walk around the block, even if it's winter. If I felt like I was going to explode at customer service, I could blow off some steam and my wife wouldn't have to know. But better yet, I need to not be rude and have better self-control. Stay calm with everyone. I've learned I need to focus more energy on simple fact-finding and try not to take things so personally, like with customer services, which can drive me nuts. One day I got mad at a rep, and oops, she was a Filipina. That didn't go over well with my Filipina wife. I go into it knowing it is going to make me mad, but I need to go into it knowing that I am going to focus my energy on getting answers without getting upset. That's the goal. I must remember that when I respond in a mature way, in control of my emotions, that is something that my wife respects. I still haven't made an international trip with her without having an airport TSA person getting on my nerves, which in turn gets on her nerves. And she vows to never travel with me again. And we don't want that to happen. Another thing that will help you to, in your relationship, that, kind of mistake I made early on that I've learned, is giving her space. A mistake you'd be making early on in your marriage to a Filipina would be in thinking she was going to be so overjoyed being in your country with you, rescuing her from extreme poverty, that she will not complain about anything. she is going to cry, probably a lot, due to homesickness. I have a video about that. I think under the circumstances, it is best to try to avoid showing her how you are the most important person in her life at that time. As a man, it is very difficult to not start asserting your influence over her right away. This takes some tact and some, sensitivity, and I'm trying to help with this in this 3-part series. They're titled differently, but they're about the same thing. A Filipina is going to be under a lot of duress with all the new things happening in her life and won't respond well to insensitivity. Another thing, I hope nobody disagrees with this, don't try to change her. As with the previously mentioned grocery shopping experience example, I can't force her to not sometimes eat something like donut or ice cream since I like to do it myself. I also think it is important to let her know I don't want her to get fat. To be fair, I have decided to not try to overdo it myself. She can make things last a lot longer than I would. Can of Coke, she might last for 3 days, or a donut for 3 days. A donut, I would probably eat 3 in the first 30 seconds, and I don't drink pop anymore. I haven't for 25 years because I couldn't stop. So I just had to quit cold turkey on that. So don't try to change her, and don't try to own your Filipina wife. I am glad that my wife wanted to work at the same company I did for 40 years. However, if she had wanted to try something else, I should let her explore that. We had a situation where she suddenly was asking, me if she could work somewhere else, which all things considered didn't make a whole lot of sense. She was getting disillusioned or unhappy about being at work. That wasn't like her. Turned out she was being bothered by some jerks. She didn't want to tell me, but I simply couldn't acquiesce to her request because, something about this didn't make sense. Now, my wife needed to learn that taking the easy way out is not usually good for the long run. And, she needed to do some confronting and talk to the right people, which she did. She was very brave. To make a long story short, she did what she had to do, later hired full-time, and I'm very proud of her. Now, this might not have happened if I had decided not to make her face this problem, which I'm sure wasn't easy for her to do, but it was the right thing to do, and she's a great employee. Now, she also wants to start taking classes, try to get a bachelor's degree here in something, and I have, of course, decided to support her 100% in that. She has her reasons why, and she's bright, and she's got the energy, and I want to see her be able to do that, Lord willing, stick to that, and see it work out for her good, and if it's good for her, it's good for me, it's good for us. If something is good for me, it's good for her, and it's good for us. That's the way I look at that. So like what she likes is another thing I wrote down here. Like her family, of course, for sure. Like her favorite movies, singers. My wife likes to travel, and I'd never had a desire to travel, but I have decided to sacrifice my football and basketball tickets to the university so we can travel around the country here in America, and so she can, have some money to go to the Philippines if she needs to, although usually we'll go ourselves. But, I can see the value in that, seeing different places, sharing different experiences together, making videos about that, making memories. Whereas if we go to a game, I do like to go to games, but I usually am unhappy if we lose, and we've lost a lot lately. So I can watch it at home on TV, and we can jump in the car and go see certain places. So that's what we've been doing. And we've been to Paris. We'd like to go to the Philippines again this year, depending when these coronavirus travel restrictions are eased or eliminated. Another thing here, know your rough spots. I value closure to a very high degree, so I am well aware if there's a chance something could get delayed, then I will be challenged to not get stressed out. I like things to work out in a straight line. Of course, that's not the way it usually works. I prefer things to be done, immediately or sooner. This is why I continually get mad at doctor's office and customer service reps. Communication is abysmal often. I also tend to get upset with myself if I don't do something well, or I felt like I wasn't going to do it well. And this all, affects my wife. I need 8 hours of sleep a night, always have. When my wife got home 3.5 hours after I did, I learned I had to take a nap before or after I was home from work if I wanted to be able to stay up later with her. It's a concession I had to make. And yes, in marriage, both the husband and wife have to make some concessions now and then. Now, if I don't plan for something like this, I'm going to get on her nerves. So I was just trying to react in a positive way, beneficial way. Hair today, gone tomorrow. At the end of part 2, I mentioned about cutting my hair for her, but that's not all I did. Generally, Filipinas aren't keen on men having beards, such as facial hair is rarely seen in the Philippines outside of a goatee or some kind of mustache. At 53, when I met her online, I had grown my first ever beard, got to liking it. It hurt me that she didn't like it. And I recall a video chat with another Filipina who was not shy at all to tell me she didn't like my hair. That probably included my beard. Just like I did with my hair, I cut my beard just for my wife. Now, since she's been here in America, she wanted me to grow a beard. So I did. Then a few weeks later, she tells me she wants to shave it off. After a number of months, she asked me to grow another beard. And by this time, I changed my mind, didn't want a beard anymore, but I reluctantly started to grow another one for her. My point in this is that as often as you can, I think it is wise to please her in any areas you can. Don't think she's trying to control you. She's probably saying something like, you look better this way. Or she thinks you'll look better this way, or she likes it that way, so why wouldn't you want to do that? Kind of same thing with your clothes. Like I mentioned in another video, she changed my whole wardrobe. Well, that's okay. I liked what I had, but she thought she could do better. And I trust that she has. I remind myself in the Bible that love is not selfish, so I try to accommodate my wife when I can. Now, after a month or so, she says she wants me to shave the beard off that I just grew, and honestly, I told her after that, it's hard for me to keep changing this, and that since she must have had her reasons for asking me to grow one in the first place, this time, I wanted to find a style maybe we both liked and see how that goes. If she just can't stand it, then I'll need to accept it and shave it off again, simply to make for harmony. She insisted on shaving it herself and thought she could do better than the barber, despite having no experience. I allowed her to shave my beard, and she took it very seriously, watched videos, did a great job, bought the right tools for the job, and she did a good job. Now, one of the last things here I'll mention here, I think, will be learning about your Filipino wife, understanding her. The Bible tells husbands to dwell with their wives in an understanding way. This takes patience, observations, asking questions. I should want to understand my wife. She's more important than, my favorite sports teams, my job. And if I want to understand those things, how much more should I understand my wife? The Bible says, dwell with them, your wives, according to knowledge or in an understanding way. I need to learn how to read her reactions. I've learned that sometimes she says things she knows will hurt me when she is upset. I understand that. She has opened up about things the longer we've been together, which I take as a good sign that she is more comfortable with me. Remember, we got married really fast, 54 days. I've learned she is a determined woman. She is a tough little woman, or else how could she leave all that she has known in life to marry a man in less than 8 weeks? As I work on this message and I get rid of this frustrating and annoying notification, my little woman was upstairs cooking many different things at once. Small steaks, tuna, chicken, hamburger, maybe more. She's able to work the microwave, oven, stovetop, slow cooker, countertop, grill all at once, even the grill outside, while washing the dishes. She's amazing at cooking all the food we need for a week, putting it in containers, cleaning it all up, washing everything in only a few hours. Oh my, am I a blessed husband. She just reminded me to come upstairs and resume doing the laundry, so I went up and kissed her on the cheek and laughed as I told her how blessed I was to have her as my wife. Falling asleep cheek to cheek, holding hands, is priceless to me. She is a great lover, complete wife. There are so many things I have discovered since marrying her. We married so quickly, we'll be discovering more about each other as we go. I think it's important that I don't give the impression that marrying a beautiful Filipina takes no work or effort. It takes as much as marrying anyone else. Little things can become very irritating and hurt the relationship if there isn't some give and take. If this video helps you see that, then it has succeeded. There are many good marriage choices on Christian Filipina, that's where I found my wife, than you've ever had before, by a lot. So your search, like mine, could be a short one if that's what you want. When you do find her, you will find beneath her amazing beauty is a person like anyone else. We will continue working out any differences with the goal of mutual satisfaction and harmony. Now, some people have said that, maybe I make it seem like it's automatic. Westerner marries Filipina. Filipina is wowed by him for some reason. Westerners are coveted, and it's great, and there's nothing that'll ever go wrong. Well, other people say that you should never ever marry a Filipina because they'll scam you. That's what they do. They'll scam you. But others, like myself, haven't been scammed. We got married so quickly, didn't know each other a lot, but we trusted each other. And hopefully you can learn that from all of the videos I've had, over 700 on YouTube. I think we're in the high 80s now for podcasts I've been putting out, thanks to Mr. E for making the lvbts.com website, lvbts.com. There's links up there for the podcasts and all of the videos and all of the social media for Love Beyond the Sea. This is a big deal. Do I need to make videos to help Westerners try to get married? Well, I don't think I need it as much as you need it. If you're someone looking to not be single, not be alone, I'm not going to be flattering towards being single because I just don't think that's normal. Unless you have the gift of singleness. You don't need sex, therefore you don't need marriage. Then you'd be investing yourself in some more humanitarian and spiritual ways. But most people can't do that, and if they are, they need to be married so they can have companionship and sexual intimacy and all of those sorts of things that many people, I got the impression of, were just giving up. So what did I want to do about it? Well, share what I can about my videos, my marriage experience in the videos and podcasts, and that's what I'll keep doing, Lord willing. It's not easy. If you make the same mistakes you've been making, I think you'll have the same outcome with a Filipina. So please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea, and we'll be very real. I know you want a wife, Filipina wife perhaps, but I also know there's some things you should learn from others who have been married for a long time to a Filipina, and that's what this channel here can help you with. And I pray that God gives me a lot more years with my love beyond the sea.